Okay, Superman big body action figure. This is going to be the final form. So let us first do a quick 360 view of the figure. So just a recap of this action figure build. This is going to be a fusion of two Mcfarlane DC Multiverse action figures. So the base body is going to be the Dark Knight Returns. The second figure is going to be the new 52 Superman action figure. So with the new 52, I use the man briefs and the head unit. Okay, so there you go. So for the cape, I made use of the original cape that was attached to this action figure as base, which I'm going to explain later. And with regards to the cloth or the soft goods cape, so that is just a t-shirt that I bought from Walmart. And this is a wired cape, but the wire isn't on the sides, the wire is on the bottom. So wiring, nothing very fancy. It's just going to be the wire that you use for your gardening needs. So to tie branches of your rose bush or whatever, that's the wire that I used, which I'm going to show off later on. Okay, so concept for this cape is going to be a one backdrop for the action figure. So the proportions, the very big muscled up proportions is going to really pop out when you take a look at this from a figure stand or a rotating table like this. So it has to be quite long and the color has to be very vibrant, and of course it has to match the existing red colors on the Superman action figure. So the boots, the belt, and the Superman symbol. Okay, so the brand for this, it's going to be this cape, which you could buy at Walmart. So the brand is going to be No Bow or No Boundaries. So very nice, bright, vibrant material. And when you make cuts on the material, it's not going to fray. So that's why I like this. Okay, so this is going also to be the same material that I'm going to use with a future project, a Hordak action figure. Okay, so that's it. So let's get to the build. Okay, so up close and personal. Let's move the table farther away, and let's move the lights closer. Okay, so take a look at this section of the cape. So that's the reason why I made use of the original cape. So it's going to be this side, but it's going to be just a small portion. So reveal, there you go. So when you flap the cape over, yep, that's it. So I just made a simple cut. So this is going to be a platform for that cape, and it's going to look good because the material matches the original plastic cape. So when you're taking a look from below, you're not going to see the hollowed out section of the back of the action figure because I made use of the original cape as a base to glue on the soft goods material. So I glued on the underside so it isn't visible. Okay, so as for the cuts, it's going to depend on the collector, of course. So if you wish a shorter cut, then make a shorter cut. If you want a longer cut like this to expose greater details of the action figure, then you could also do so. Okay, so it's going to be that simple. To detach the cape, you need to detach the cape initially, the plastic cape. So just run your hair dryer on these sections of the cape and on the back section and peel it off. And of course, you're just going to use a portion, so just cut this portion and glue the soft goods material underneath and glue it back on, so it's going to look natural or good. So instead of, well, of course, if we did not make use of the origin plastic cape as a platform, the material is going to sag on the shoulders and on the back. It's not going to look good. Okay, so the wired ends, I just did not sew the wire ends. That is already part of the red shirt. As you could see, these parts on the end, those parts, so that is it actually. So just make a cut on that portion of the cape so you could easily insert a wired material inside. So there you go. So if I wish to take the wired material off, I could. If I wish to replace that wired material with a different wire material, I could. So that's it. Just very simple kitbash procedure that you guys could follow. So no need to purchase capes from third-party manufacturers, because you already have the capacity of making your own material to make your action figures look more pleasant or more cool. So yeah. So instead of buying an action figure and once again ordering online for stuff, just make your own. Make use of ideas that will work. So that's it. Or what you a technique that you have in mind. Instead of being afraid of using that technique or that idea, use it. And if it fails at first, then learn from the failure of that technique and build on improving the technique later on, and somehow that's going to look good on the action figure. So if, for example, this technique, I learned it about a year ago. So a previous collector also taught me this. So he was using wired cape material. So sometimes he would really sew wire on the side. No shortcut method. You have to really use needles and thread. So the effect is going to look really good. Instead of doing the shortcut method of a custom cape, it's going to look bad if you use glue or whatever adhesive material. For things like this soft goods material, it has to be hand sewn. So sharing little bits of tidbits on techniques of kitbashing your action figures. So my personal experience with making custom action figures. So I started with G.I. Joe 3.75 inch action figures. Then I graduated to 1:12 scale custom figures. At first, the Hot Toys version, and then I sold off my Hot Toys and made my own versions, military action figure versions. And then later on, some of my friends saw the figures that I made, so they contracted me to have figures made for their collection. So yeah, that's it. So somehow parts with actual 1:6 scale, figures become very expensive and scarce or hard to find. So I scaled down to 1:12 or 6.5 and these 7-inch action figures. So just scaling down what I kitbash or customize, and instead of going the long route of kitbashing action figures that are really heavy with regards to the process, I would want something that is more simple, more simplified, and easy to do. Yeah, so something like this. So if you like this review, just like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.